So on the north end of the police department too, and we know he's out in the crowd as well.
Yeah, let's check in with Babs Santos. Hopefully a different angle from where Rob was at. Babs, where exactly are you right now?
Hey Karen, hey Tim. You can see there's a lot of people starting to come this way. We were wondering why. It appears there's a convoy of soldiers on the other side. Not too long ago, they did issue that dispersal order, and they've been using tear gas, using flashbangs. Really feel for these people living in this apartment over here to the left. If you could pan to the left. People here affected by this tear gas. There's been so many odd sights here. Umbrellas out, goggles on. People in the crowd we've seen armed with guns. We're going to move because the convoy is coming in our direction, so we're moving back that way. I don't know if you can hear me now, Karen.
Yeah, we can. Babs, I'll tell you what, we can see people starting to run there, Babs. You get to the safe position that you need to get to, along with our colleague Rob Olson.
We're good. The soldiers are here.
Are they
hey,
state? I think you're meaning State Patrol. Is it the State Patrol?
They are making arrests. I see shields that say
Sheriff's Department, yes.
They are making arrests here.
Hey, if cameraman's filming, start backing it up. Okay, let's go.
We're going to back up and get to safety.
Babs, did it look like they were making an arrest?
Making multiple arrests. Really, this entire crowd just got out of the area.
All right.
But it looks like...
All right, let's move.
As many sheriff deputies on this other side, many vehicles.
All right, Rob Olson is also out there in the middle of the crowd tonight. Rob, can you hear us now, and where are you at, and what are you seeing?
I can hear you, and I'm walking northbound on Humboldt now as a massive line of law enforcement has moved in here. SWAT teams all departing their vehicles to head down towards the police station. Vehicles have come in and blocked the road. National Guard vehicles have blocked the road as people were really rapidly trying to get out of here. So you can see from this here, there go the law enforcement members, the SWAT team and others that were held up in reserve to come in here. Here comes some law enforcement now on mountain bikes. That'll be coming past the camera in a minute. I'm behind the camera now by about 20 feet too as we continue to back up here. But here come these, I don't know where they came from. They're coming down an alley, so obviously they were staged very nearby too. But the speed at which these vehicles just all pulled in here, you see the National Guard vehicle and that sort of a small transit van bus in front of you blocking the road. They came out through the alley. There's a long line of these vehicles now completely creating a perimeter across Humboldt and across the parking lot where the Dollar Tree Mall is. And again, another long line of vehicles came from the north down Humboldt. It just sped down in a long line, doors opened, and they all poured out and are all heading that way. So you can see the perimeter that they've created there with the vehicles across Humboldt and everyone going in the other way rapidly to start to continue with what was a dispersal, and now will be presumably quite a number of arrests here to shut this down. So
Rob,
people started running.
I was going to say, that's interesting. They didn't do that the last few nights. They didn't sort of choke off the area with the vehicles like they did, that they clearly are doing there. And I know Babs, with his angle, we saw a couple of arrests. Did you see any people actually being arrested? We see a police line right now.
Yeah. I cannot see anyone being arrested because that's all now on the other side of that line. Maybe you can see a little bit going on over here as they move in with the shields up. But as we headed north to stay in a safe position here, that's when all these vehicles came in. Literally, as I was passing where those vehicles are, they were flying across the road. So that all happened pretty quickly here. So yeah, a marked difference to what we saw certainly, Karen, last night when you were out here, in which they had a very non-aggressive, non-confrontational, non-escalation stance, and things did sort of then kind of peter out, I guess, as the night wore on. I think that's exactly the approach that they appeared to be trying tonight, staying back by the building, not up by the fence line, and just hoping that that would turn out the same way. But you could really tell here, you could tell that tension escalating. You could really just feel it. I mean, you know what I'm talking about because you've been out here multiple times, that you could just sort of sense that something was about to happen.
It's
and when they
incredible,
broke
speed.
that, again, yeah.
The speed at which that happened,
things,
you know, it just everything popped in a second, and the speed at which those vehicles moved in, those law enforcement vehicles, incredible.
And tactically, what they're doing here, too, is not just creating an outer perimeter, extending the perimeter, but they're essentially sealing off escape routes. And for those people who are trapped inside, and sealing off the roads to prevent anyone else from getting in, too. So a very fast, lightning speed move that tactically they executed here tonight.
Yeah, and then there were a number of vehicles parked on the road and on the side of the road here that were starting to try to leave very quickly too. And so they basically are trapping them, any more of them from leaving. And but you could really sense again when they pushed open the gate of the driveway, and they had to come out to sort of engage to secure that gate, and they were going after the gate again. You could feel it building, very much so. And then when they gave the dispersal order, then you knew something was going to happen like this, but you don't know. Part of it is different tactics each time, so there's no way to predict what's going to happen. And that's what happened here. Is you saw people running northbound. You knew people that there was law enforcement and guard and state patrol, et cetera, coming from the other direction. But then you saw the speed at which these vehicles moved in, and I couldn't even tell you where they came from. They moved in so fast. We do know that there are a number of staging areas nearby. We have seen some of those. But the speed at which this line came in here and sealed this off, and the law enforcement got out, was pretty remarkable.
And
Rob,
Rob,
oh, I'm sorry, Tim, go ahead.
This is all about scene control, is what we're seeing here right now. And in a matter of 5 minutes ago, there was 100 people, maybe 200 people, right in line where this camera view is showing our viewers right now. And as of now, nobody is there. Are you able to look around and see where did everyone go? Had they just simply left the scene? And has law enforcement essentially kind of regained control of those blocks around the police department?
I would say yes and yes. We are now on the other side of those apartments. Yeah, we are now directly across from, there's the Dollar Tree, and there's, you know, the mall over there. And then you go across the street there, and there's the first of the two apartment buildings that are across the street from the police department. So we were down right by the police department on the other side of where this roadblock is now. Yeah, where the bright light is down there. You can see the lit up fence down there. That's where we started, and as people started running north, then we started backtracking this way. But pretty soon it was a rapid exodus here. Is the crowd that was left was running. Everybody was running. Cars were speeding away, and it's pretty remarkable. So whoever's left inside this perimeter, I don't know how many were left at that point. Maybe 100. I don't know. It was hard to tell because it was pretty chaotic at that point. But now, as you look around here, you can see that it is a ghost town. This parking lot is of, you know, what, 10, 15 minutes ago was full of cars.
Hey, Rob,
there's only a few left in there.
Did any of the members of law enforcement say anything to the media about getting the heck out of there? Or there's been a little bit of a back and forth between journalists and law enforcement on whether they should stay and document some of the arrests and what's going on, or should in fact get out of the area there. Did they say anything to you, or did you hear, there's of course a lot of media there, did they say anything to other members of the media?
Well, not specifically to us, but I did hear a single announcement. There may have been others, I don't know, it was pretty loud. But I did hear a single announcement saying media move back as well. And that's all I needed to hear. I wanted to certainly be in a safe position where we could still document what was going on here. And so we moved pretty quickly to get out of there because we didn't want to get caught up on this, tonight, but wanted to stay close enough to be able to see what was happening. So there was a bit of a warning there. and that was about it. So we knew where to be.
All right. We've got Babs Santos, who's also there on the ground, probably not too far away from you, but he, when we last went to Babs, they were arresting people right behind him at the time as people were running past him. And you could see members of law enforcement ordering people to the ground. People were dropping, and you could see the arrests starting to take place. Babs, what have you seen since then? What's going on where you're at? Hello, Babs, you there?
Hey, Tim. We were really caught in the middle of this. Suddenly, a lot of people started rushing from one direction. I think it was the south end of this, rushing north. They were rushing to get away from a convoy of sheriff's deputies coming in. But what they didn't know is that they were rushing directly into a second one on the opposite side. We were really caught right in the middle. We just, maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago, myself along with my photographers and our security here, we were all laid down fully on the ground and really briefly detained by law enforcement here. We identified ourselves as press, members of the press, and after talking with them briefly, they thanked us for being here and allowed us to leave. So now we are heading back away from the police department, back in this direction towards our vehicles. But really, they came in there quickly and they shut the whole situation down. So they took anybody that was still there after giving that dispersal order. I would say about 30 minutes or 25 minutes had passed, and anybody that was still there, they came in and they told us to get on the ground. We are approaching another group now of law enforcement, many state troopers. But this night has really come to an end here, really just in the last 5 or so minutes. I actually had just tweeted some video I took while I was on the ground. All of us laid out on the ground, hands in front of us, and we had to identify ourselves as members of the press, and after doing that, they've allowed us to leave.
Okay, Babs, I'm noticing a couple of things here in your video as the photographer is walking along with you, and you can see the perimeter that law enforcement have made along the sidewalks to essentially prevent any cars from getting out in the road, even pedestrians from getting out in the roads. Can you describe that scene? And we're also looking at some people on the ground right now. Have they been essentially told that they are going to be arrested?
Get down! Yes, anybody who's still here.
This way. Don't argue, shut up, and just move this way like they said.
Anybody who's still here is being detained. I don't know if you can see right here, a man sitting on the ground.
Yes.
State trooper just told him to get down. There's another man who was on his motorcycle over here a little bit to the right. He's surrounded by 3 state troopers. Anybody who's still here after this dispersal order has been told to go, and if you don't go, you are being detained.
Are you being